What's good, y'all? We back with another video, and today we're gonna be talking about New York drill rappers who got sentenced. And this is unfortunately gonna be a series because there's so many talented drill rappers who have fortunately been locked up and who have been sentenced. And we're gonna discuss how they got there and how long until they get their freedom back. And without further ado, we're gonna get right into it. The first artist we're gonna be taking a look at is one of the most talented to come out the Bronx. D-Thing. As most know, D-Thing was arrested multiple times at the end of 2021, once in November for possession of a weapon, but he would bail out for the time being, and then only a short time after being released, he would drop Love D-Thing, but only days after dropping the Love Sosa sampled record. He would unfortunately be picked up again for possession of a weapon yet again on December 4th, 2021. He would have no bail this time and would sit in Rikers Island for months until more bad news would break. D-Thing and 22 others would wake up May 24th, 2022 to an RPT indictment that would charge D-Thing with animal cruelty, conspiracy, and many other charges. D-Thing then would sit in Rikers Island for another 7 months until December, where his lawyer and prosecutor struck a plea agreement where D-Thing would plead guilty to attempted criminal possession of a weapon and conspiracy in exchange for less time, and D-Thing would avoid going to trial. D-Thing would await his sentencing date, and after many court dates being pushed back, he would be sentenced on April 19th, 2023. Almost 17 months after being arrested, he would finally know his fate. He would be sentenced to 2 years for the attempted criminal possession of a weapon and 1 to 3 years for conspiracy that went along with the RPT indictment. Meaning, if both charges run concurrent, he could be out by the end of 2023 or by 2024. Then weeks after the sentencing date, he would be sent up north to finish his time in prison, and once he got up there, his potential release dates would come out. The earliest he could come home is June 2023, and the latest being November of 2024. So we could potentially see one of the pioneers of Bronx drill home in 2023 or the latest next year after facing a slew of charges attached to both cases he was facing, and not to mention one of those cases being an indictment. Now let's move on to the next drill rapper who was sentenced, Nay Benz, who's from the Bronx and has multiple tracks with drill rappers from DOA and her own block SB. Many know SB as where melodic rapper Lil TJ is from, but since he's left the Bronx, it's a mainstream success. Many talented drill rappers have also emerged from SB, Nay Benz being one of them. She would be arrested on unknown charges in July of 2022. She would sit in Crossroads for months and leave most clueless on when she'll be back, until she sent a letter from prison on March 23rd teasing a Jen Carter feature and also letting fans know she has 12 months left on her sentence and can be home in 8 months on good behavior. And more recently, she would be seen on a video call and a countdown timer would be seen, and the timer would end around the end of March 2024. Now on to Yonkers drill rapper Velly Vels. Velly has been making music for years, but unfortunately his most successful track would come after he was locked up awaiting sentencing. Velly would be a part of a 300 Bloodhound Brims indictment where he would be named as the leader of 300, and that indictment would come after a situation at one of Velly's music video shoots on June 17th, 2021. A 33-year-old man would walk into a convenience store in Yonkers where Velly was shooting a music video in front of, and a couple people with Velly would confront the man in the store, and then the man would leave the store. As he was leaving the store, somebody would hit the man in the shoulder with a glass liquor bottle, and the man would try to run away when Velly would jump out from behind the car and hit the man in the head with another glass bottle, and the man would be knocked out unconscious. Multiple people associated with Velly and Velly himself would then start kicking and jumping the 33-year-old man and confiscate jewelry and other items from the man as well. The stupid part about this whole situation is it was at a Velly music video shoot, and there would be multiple witnesses and they would record the whole encounter. After being released on bail and after the indictment, Velly would continue to drop music, but eventually the time would come to take the case to trial. Everybody on this indictment would cop plea deals to avoid trial, except Velly. And that would be mostly because Velly was the one that hit the 33-year-old in the head with a glass bottle. The other defendants and the other people on this indictment that had major roles in this gang assault would receive 8 years or less, and there's other people on this indictment that only kicked or punched a man after he fell to the ground, which would be a lesser role in the gang assault, resulting in them only getting a couple years. And with the popularity of Velly already drill rapping and his role in the gang assault, and them also labeling him the leader of 300, his plea deal probably wasn't as good as the 8 years or less that other people received. And with him not taking a plea deal, his only choice would be to take it to trial. With all the evidence of the recordings on the phone of them kicking and stomping out the 33-year-old man, Veli would ultimately lose at trial. He would be found guilty, and at his sentencing court date, Veli would say, "I am a human and I made a mistake and I learned from my mistake," but did not apologize to the 33-year-old man. Veli asked the judge for leniency because he had no criminal record, was the father of a young child, and added that he went to trial because he thought the plea deal that was offered was too much time. Veli could have received anywhere from 5 to 24 years. The DA's office wanted 16 years, but the judge sentenced him to 12 years with the earliest possible release date being January 14th, 2033. After being sentenced, a dropper that was there for Veli that day in court at his sentencing, Shimi, would claim the 33-year-old man that was jumped that night was seen at the club the next day after the indictment stated the man had severe brain damage. Many would call out Veli for being the only one to take it to trial, but hindsight is 2020. If he would have walked that day in trial and beat his case, he would be the only one on the indictment to beat the case. But the worst part about it is when he lost trial and was sitting in jail, his On the Radar freestyle would drop on November 4th, and in only months it would surpass 1 million views and would be the most success Veli's had on a music level, and he wouldn't even be able to celebrate it on the outside. It's a very unfortunate situation for Veli because he has been rapping for so long and been super consistent, being a full-time rapper the last couple of years, and the one break he gets in his music career happens after he already lost his freedom, and he's not able to follow that success up with more and more music like he would have hoped. But fans still have their hopes up for an appeal for a lesser sentence, and hopefully with the talent level Veli has, he can come home earlier. But the fact of the matter is, one mistake from one night can cost you years of your life in the future. So when you sign up for a certain way to live, know what you're getting yourself into. I'll catch you on the next one. Be safe, stay dangerous. Good.